Tennessee blues, it happens every night. And I ain't never met a riverboat dealer that could ever be a friend of mine. The summer heat never treats me kind, it leaves trouble on my mind. So I'm bidding farewell, putting in my notice, and I'll see you at another time. This highway does not know my name, and I don't care. No, I don't care. No, I don't. Heading my way
For
another
dang better place.
And I got 3 good tires and a spare.
Come on right here and listen.
Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to get there.
Oh, yeah. Kool-Aid Man right there behind me saying, oh, yeah. Low Budget Live from the Low Budget Live Bar and Grill. Got the Kool-Aid Man here. And happy freaking New Year to you. We made it. We made it into a new decade. That's incredible when you think about it, really. And I know I talked about that a lot on the last Low Budget Live, Not So Live. Texting our guest from today, right there. Texting our guest. On-air talent producer, talent booker extraordinaire right here. Just doing everything on LBL. But yeah, we made it. We made it to another decade. And that's amazing. That's amazing to think about the next 10 years on its way. So here we are, Low Budget Live, January the 6th. When you hear this, January the 6th. And I want to say, go Titans, baby, and go Vols for all my Tennesseans out there. Man, Tennessee down, Indiana, just Gator Bowl. Man, it was a rough one. It was a rough one, and we came back in the last 5 minutes of that ball game. Unbelievable. I was ready to give up on them a couple times. It was just ugly, but they did it. They got it done. Win by a point over Indiana, Gator Bowl, Jeremy Pruitt. Man, come on. It was fun. And then last night, of course, when you hear this, it'll be 2 days ago, the Titans rolled up into Foxborough, up there in the land of Brady and the land of Bill Belichick, and just said, no, this is where your right ends, bud. This is where your right ends, and Derrick Henry just ran all over him. It was a good game. It was a defensive battle at times, but Derrick Henry, even though he's an Alabama guy, I'm a Titans nut. So I'm pulling from a dude now. He's a Titan. He's a real man, that Derrick Henry. But now we move on and play Baltimore next week. Number 1 team in the AFC. So number 1 seed. We'll see how that goes. But rolled into Foxborough, Gillette, whatever they call it, Gillette, and came out with a W. And you hate to see it, don't you? You just hate to see it. So that was fun. Last night, staying up late, watching that. I only fell asleep once on the couch during that game, so big props to myself on that. In my current physical shape, which we're going to get to, but in my current physical shape, and, it's winter time. It gets a little warm in the house. Get a blanket on the couch, and I'm out. I know a lot of you are probably the same way, but I'm out. So that would definitely happen last night, but I'm well rested for Low Budget Live, Not So Live today. And Low Budget Live, Not So Live, and Low Budget Live always brought to you by the fine folks at Starbright, Startron, cleaning up your boat, keeping ethanol ran out, plumb out into the woods. Get that ethanol away from your big motor on your boat. Get it away from your chainsaw with some Startron. Available just about everywhere. Only thing I can tell you is just don't drink it because you won't enjoy it. But your chainsaw and your weed eater, they'll take a little drop of that. They'll take a little dose. Little dab will do you. This bottle right here, 16 ounces, will treat 256 gallons of gas right there. There you go. So thanks to the fine folks at StarTron keeping you low budget live headed your way. Excited about today. Very excited about today. Excited. I just dropped a new fishing video. We got more fishing videos coming up, and you guys watched it. And I appreciate it. And there's so much more to come this year. But the last podcast, I did by myself, and I got in here and I ranted and I raved a little bit, and like always. But I told you, gave you a little nugget that we would have a very special guest today, and we do. We do have a very, 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 very special guest, and I'm excited about that. I had him on the list of people I wanted to have on. We're actually going to have two guests, but the main guest today, somebody I've wanted to have on, but I dropped you a little nugget, and I said we were going to have the Z-Train, Mr. Mark Zona, to kick off the year with a splash. And Mark reached out to me 2 days ago, and he has an illness in his family, and I'm not going to disclose anything else other than that out of privacy and respect for Mark. But thoughts and prayers to Mark and his family right now. They're going through some stuff, and for sure. And so he's not going to be on this week. We got another guest, but Mark is such a good guy and has been there for me a lot in life and business ways and advice, and just a good friend and somebody I really respect in this fishing world and outside this fishing world. So thoughts and prayers with Mark and his family right now, and we're going to get Mark on in the next couple of weeks for sure. He and I talked about it, and it's going to happen. Definitely going to happen. So hang on to that. Got another good one for you today, though. Trust me on that one. I'm always going to do my best to get you the best, because y'all the best. That was a lot of the best. So that will be coming up very, very, very soon. All right. This is fun. This is going to be fun right here. So I want to read the definition of a word to you guys right here. Low Budget Live. I'm going to look right in this camera from the Low Budget Live Bar and Grill. It's a big episode. It's a big day today. And I'm gonna start by reading the definition of slander to you. That's a legal term that gets thrown out a lot, slander. To slander, the verb of that. Slander is the action or crime of making a false spoken statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. A false spoken statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. A false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. It's also a verb to make false and damaging statements about someone. So false or damaging statements. And false and damaging. That's the verb. To slander. Slandering. So, turns out I'm being sued for slander by, drum roll. No, it's not anybody in Major League Fishing. No, it's not anybody that matters. Jason Christie with a hard Y. Not Jason Christie, the legendary bass fisherman. Jason Christie, the absolute fraud in bass fishing. Jason Christie. I don't know that I'm getting sued by Jason Christie. He apparently had a rough night a couple nights ago on Instagram, and he did post Kelly J, Fish of the Elite Series. Kelly J made a post of his pic of his truck somewhere. Jason Christie Fishing with a Y, real big on the side, and and he said, "Hey guys, I'm really nervous. I want this guy's autograph, but I'm scared to talk to him." And it was just funny, and there were a lot of people that commented under it, and somebody tagged me, and it was like, "Hey Luke, it's your boy," which he's not my boy, and I just. Last episode, you can go back and listen to it. All I said was the guy never qualified last year for the FLW Tour. He didn't qualify again this year. He would never qualify, I don't think. I think that's fair to say. And he really puts up a front like he's, the second Jason Christie, and which he is, I guess, technically. That's not false. But he does. And I was around him on tour last year, and he didn't even fish all the events, and whatever. It's just dumb. His whole thing, and it's been people talk about it, and it's silly. And if you Google him, there are lots of things that come up, right? I don't have to tell you that. This has been shared. Blah, 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 blah. But the guy commented under this Kelly J thing when somebody mentioned me and said that I was being sued for slander. sued for slander over things I said on this podcast. I'm being sued for slander of Jason Christie. Well, buddy, I hate to tell you, I'm not a law guy. I don't even really like lawyers, okay? From my personal dealings with them, not that much. I've got some good friends that are lawyers, but for the most part, not a fan, okay? But I will tell you this. I don't think that you make your opening statements in a lawsuit or law case on Instagram. These comments were deleted, and I never personally got to see them because he has me blocked on social media, which is hilarious. And but I do have those. I do have those comments on my phone. So I just wanted to say, Jason, if you and your lawyers are listening, I didn't say anything that's not true. I said that you didn't qualify, which is very true, and you never will. You won't requalify. Your track record speaks for itself in that. But you'll probably make some videos that you pay somebody. I don't know where the money comes from. You know, there's lots of speculation there. But he likes to talk about his money, though, and I do want to point that out because there were a couple guys that just commented on that post Kelly J made, which was fun, which is just as much slander as anything I've said on here or anything that Randy Flowers has done. But you don't know Randy Flowers because he's anonymous, but I say it with my face and you're going to sue me for slander. Good talk. But he sent this, a message I have right here on my phone that I've got, a guy I know called him an imposter, a bass fishing imposter in the comments, and he DM'd him. He didn't comment back to me, he DM'd him. He says, "Really? Are you an imposter that has very little money and not a pot to piss in or a window to throw out? I gave away $100,000 to local charities last year. How about you shut the blank up, keyboard warrior? Keyboard warrior! Piss off, pretender." That's what he sent this guy, and various other things too. And he sent another guy something very similar. And here's the deal, buddy. Here's the deal. Yeah, I'd say you got some money because you buy Facebook likes, obviously, and some other things. But chill out with the full on attack with everybody. If you would just shut up, people might leave you alone. But I just wanted to say that. Maybe he sues me. If he does, we'll live stream it. That's all I got to say, because I haven't said anything that anybody else hasn't ever said on any sports show. People, Tom Brady's garbage. Oh, it's slander. No, it's not, big guy. If I said Jason Christie allegedly did something and it wasn't true, that's slander. I never said that. I said you suck at bass fishing. I said you shouldn't be on the FLW tour. That's not slander. That's just freaking fact. I said it makes FLW look bad that you're there. That's fact. But there's about 30 or 40 other guys that's the same case with. Didn't qualify. Didn't fish the Costas to qualify. Didn't even fish all the events last year. And this is something that me as an FLW guy last year, we worked very hard at making a more prestigious trail with qualification standards and things like that. And, you didn't even fish all the events, buddy. You didn't fish all the events. I also know that a sponsor that I share, not a sponsor, he doesn't have a sponsor, but he bought logos and put all over his boat and things. They had sent him cease and desist email. Like, I've got the email. Like, take the logos off your truck. We don't want to be associated with this, man. So, dude is whatever, but I'm just telling you, and I've seen people comment and go, "Hey, Luke Duncan's throwing shade at you." There was some guy saying that. I ain't throwing shade. I'm just speaking the truth. It's silly, man. Bass fishing is weird like that, too. When I was in the music world, it's like, it was a little like that, right? And hats off to guys like the Elite Series, and BPT going forward, where they have these qualification measures. Bass Pro Tour, they did select their field, hand pick it and all that for this first time, but they are trying to get like a qualification standard, and I hope they stick to it. And, the Elite Series always had it until they were pillaged, and their guys left, so to speak, and then they had to kind of break their qualification, but they're back to sticking to it now. They took a year out to fill their field, and now they're back going, right? So, but it's very strange. You can't walk in a bar carrying a football helmet and be like, "Yeah, play for the Patriots. What's up?" or buy Facebook likes and say, hey, man, Patriots linebacker. You can fact check that, right? But this dude could go into a bar and say, hey, I'm a pro fisherman. Look at me. And his truck says he's a fisherman. And his little cute little jersey says he's a fisherman. And it's weird in fishing like that. It's like there's a con man around every corner, either with a social media thing or it's very strange. You see a lot of people buying likes, young guys, old guys, Facebook, Instagram. That was a thing. You can't buy them on YouTube, thank God. Or some of these guys would be, the biggest YouTube fishing sensations. Move over, Guggen Squad. Move over, Milliken Fishing. Jason Christie's coming to town. I mean, if you could, some guys like this, they would really, they would take over the fishing world. But it's sad that they try to use that to, convince people there's something they're not, or, and this coming from a guy that never had the track record he wanted on the FLW Tour at all, but I qualified every single time. I re-qualified every year based on their qualification that they had in the brochure every single year. Okay. Never made the 4-foot Cup, never top 10, whatever. But I caught them sometimes, and I never tried to act like I was better than anybody. And I never tried to convince anybody I was something I wasn't. I enjoy spreading the word on this sport. I enjoy trying to help with the growth of this sport. And that's what I've done. That's why I've been really vocal on social media always, making videos and trying to make bass fishing fun, make it entertaining. It is that for me 99% of the time, So it's really weird that we have that in bass fishing. And that's what I talked about is they'll fill the FLW Tour field as long as there are guys. And this is why the Opens do so well as well, because a guy can pay his entry fees. He can fish 4 events and he can say he's a Bassmaster Pro. The general public doesn't know, the difference. It's not that big of a sport. So, if that's slander, so be it, big guy. So be it. Sucks to suck. That's all I can say. I don't know. I have sucked right there with you, buddy. I've sucked. I understand, but I didn't just keep on and this dude. I will say this too. He came after Ike and Ellie last year. Brian the Carpenter on Ike Live went after Toyota to saying they were cyber bullying him. And my thing is you're bullying yourself. Throwing this stuff out there is you're bullying yourself, man. You're asking for it. You're begging for it. You're begging for it. And in this day of time where everybody's a savage online and they keep up with everything to the nth degree, you better be backing up what you're putting out there, and you better not, type your name into Google and a bunch of stuff comes up either, it's very odd. It's a very odd situation. So not sure what's going on there, but I wanted to make it public. I wanted to make it public that I'm being sued for slander. So this is a big day. This is a big year. Kicking off the decade with our first ever low budget live lawsuit. Heck yeah, baby. Heck yeah. I mean, come on with it. So moving on past the insanity. Stop getting in people's DMs, okay? And if you want to tell me that I'm being sued, send me an email. Call me. Unblock me, message me, and we'll talk, pumpkin. Anytime you get ready, or have your lawyer reach out or something. I don't know. Hashtag all in. All in on the court cases. Hashtag all in. So here we go. Something else crazy this week. Crazy. Not really crazy. I won't say crazy. Controversial. Steamy goodness. My buddy Ben Milliken released a video this week, and you can check it out on his channel. And he basically called out the Guggen Squad and their hardbait collection. Called them out for, in his mind, and in his opinion, knocking off 6 cents hard baits, 6 cents crankbaits. And it's well known that I'm affiliated with 6 cents. I have been for several years now. It is well known that I'm friends with Ben Milliken, and we just collabed down in Texas. Don't know Ben extremely well yet, but I like Ben. Ben's a hard worker. I really respect Ben. I don't know any of the guys in the Guggen squad. I can say that. We've mentioned Lunkers on here. Rob reached out to me, said he was a fan of a couple episodes, and we've talked back and forth, and I hope to have Rob on the show very soon. I've just got some guests and some things we're trying to get through, and I do believe I'll get Rob on here. I want to. Especially with this situation, I'd like to hear what he's got to say. Rob's very opinionated, just like Ben is. But Ben, I felt like he did a really professional video, and he compared some of these hard baits. You need to go check it out if you haven't seen it. And he cut them open. He showed the weight transfer systems. This is something that happens in the fishing world. Y'all know that. And I've seen a lot of the comments on Ben's stuff. This is something that goes on a lot. It's not just in this situation in particular. It goes on from the big box retailers knocking off the bait company's products because they can sell it for $2 cheaper. It goes on from company to company to company. If you have something that blows up, a Cinco, everybody's got a Cinco. You got a chatterbait, everybody's got a chatterbait. Deep plugs, everybody's got their spin on those. And there's a lot of similarities between those two those crankbaits. That is definitely the case. Go watch Ben's video. Let me know what you think about it. It's a shame that the industry operates in that way. And I think that those baits are selling. The Guggen baits are selling. The 6 cents baits are selling. I hope that everybody can just make a living fishing. That's awesome. But it is there's a lot of similarities between the baits. But the same goes on in a lot of companies and different things. So let you be the judge. Go check it out. I'm going to have Ben on hopefully next week to talk about this, and I would love to get Rob from the Guggen squad on as well in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to reach out to him again and see. Like I said, I'm associated with 6 cents. I'm associated with Ben. But I don't want it to come off like I'm biased in one way or the other. I don't know anything about those guys. That's why I want to have them on. I'd like to learn more about it. I know a lot of the industry opinion on some things that they've done. And then certainly this video, a lot of people are saying Ben was trying to get views and things like that by throwing their name in. And you'll see those kind of comments pop up. But I know Ben well enough that I don't feel like he needs views. Ben's doing well for himself. He works really hard. But he does take things like that very personal. And I think he may have had a personal relationship with some of those guys in the past. I'm not sure which ones exactly. We can ask him. But he took this very personal. He wears his 6 cents patch on his sleeve, to say the very least. And he's a big fan of what they do. He works very closely with Casey and those guys down there. And those guys are really, I've seen people saying, oh, if you get your baits in China, this is what happens. And I want to speak to that. So I've seen that in the comments several times, and it does happen. TH Marine gets some stuff in China. That's my personal, dealings in business. We've gotten some things, and you can buy some of our stuff in China, and that does happen. But it's a little different. A lot of people manufacture overseas. Very few baits are made other than custom swim baits and whatnot here in the United States now. So I think it's a bigger issue than the fact that they're manufactured in China. I really do. I think it's a bigger issue than that. When you can get something that's very similar. On the outside they do look different. I feel like they're but the lips are very similar on the crankbaits and things. And it was an interesting video. It's interesting. Go check it out. But 6 cents, they do get a lot of things out of China manufactured, just like every other company in the United States now. But I will say this: they push, and I'm going into year 3 with these guys. They push for new products. They're bouncing stuff off of us all the time, trying to develop new things. I mean, look at this Axis crankbait, crazy stuff that's outside of the box big time. And they've always done that. The splashback popper. I mean, these are things that are not knockoffs of other things that you just get made in China, okay? The hybrid jig, like the head's totally different. Their swim jig is totally different from a lot of swim jigs out there. And I think that's really what makes them special to me. The colors are great. The people are great. But the time, energy, and effort. You got Philip Jones down there. He's designing soft plastics now. He's designing a lot of hard baits. They have so many things in the making that are special just to them. So go check out Ben's video, and hopefully going to have Ben on very, very soon. So moving on, I've got a guest coming up in 15 minutes. The big guest, the main guest. But first, this is going to be crazy. So, for those of you that are new, let me get a drink. For those of you that are new to Low Budget Live, not so live, Low Budget Live, last year I did a thing where I tried to lose some weight and I called it the Fat Ass Challenge, just being funny and rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Fat Ass Challenge. But I lost a lot of weight last year and I was doing really good. I felt really good last year up until October when my mom got really bad, and that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. But, I mean, I had kicked bread and pasta and all kind of stuff and was really, I was working out a little bit and feeling good. But then my mom passed away, and it's been a crazy fall. The fall is always hard anyways because you have Thanksgiving and you have Christmas and it's just cold and you just eat biscuits and gravy. And it's always difficult anyways, unless you're really disciplined. And I'm not. So here's what I want to do. Starting now, this week, the Fat Ass Challenge is back. It's back. But I need accountability. People need accountability. And if some of you have reached out to me and said, hey, man, if you do this again, I want in. Yeah, I want to be a part of the Fat Ass Challenge. So we're going to do two things. Me and Big C, who we're fixing to call Big Corey Williams. Corey's gained a lot of weight too. We're going to do a live weigh-in right now, fixing to Skype him on Low Budget Live, Not So Live. I got my shorts on, my T-shirt. Probably going to take, I need to just strip down. But I want the most weight I can get, right? For this challenge. Corey and I are going $500 to who loses the most weight. I'm going to look at his scales. He's going to look at mine. Now, we do need official scales. I will agree with that. And in the weeks to come, we just couldn't get together today. In weeks to come, we will make an official scale, okay? But this is going to run through the Bassmaster Classic, first week of March. So about 60 days of weight loss. We're going to see what we can do. Join in with me. Okay, join in with me. Send me your pictures. Tag me on Instagram. Lose some weight. Let's lose some weight. Let's get healthy. I'm the last guy on earth that's going to motivate you very much. I hate it. I hate diets. I like comfort food. I love burgers and fries. I love Chick-fil-A. I love milkshakes. I like having a liquor drink. But we are going to try to dump some pounds, get to feeling better. And this is only the beginning. We want to carry this through all of 2020. And this is cliche. Everybody does this at the first of the year. Everybody wants to start over, but this is the best time to do it. Let's do it together. So I'm going to put together a fan prize pack. Okay. I don't have everything in it. I'm going to reach out to some sponsors. I want this to be big, but Corey and I's bet, and we're fixing to call Corey, is $500 to the winner. $500 between Corey and I. Okay. It's obvious I'm probably going to win because Corey is stupid, like Darian. But $500 to the winner, and for the most weight loss, I'm going to need pictures of scales. We're going to document this. But send me, if you want to be a part of it, lowbudgetlive1 at gmail.com. Okay, lowbudgetlive1 at gmail.com. Hit me up on there. Let's do this. Let's do this. Be the Fat Ass Challenge fan winner. Go up against me and Corey. And if you lose more weight than us, I may throw in all kind of stuff. Okay, but I'm working on some things for it. Don't have it all done. But in the meantime, let's call Big C right now. I'm gonna try to Skype. I don't ever use Skype. Try to Skype Corey. Right now, we are Skyping Corey. We're going to record this on Skype. Let's get him on here. He's not answering. It's a jazzy tune, though. Come on, Corey. Stupid Corey. He's not answering. He's answering. It's Big C, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is it only audio?
Hang on. I'm switching to video. Hang on. Corey, something's wrong with your camera. Hey, it's Corey, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure this thing's recording, Corey. It's not recording, Corey. Hang on. It's recording now, Corey. Hey, Corey. Corey's on, guys. Look, it's Corey. So, Corey, I explained to everybody how the Fat Ass Challenge is going to work. And we will get some official set of scales, right? Today's just a starter. I see your dumb face you're making.
Official scales?
Yeah, we need official scales, even though you couldn't be here today. I don't know. We got to have some. I mean, I feel like my scales are the official scales.
All right, well, we bring it Wednesday, and we'll do a reweigh.
We'll do a reweigh on Wednesday with the official scales.
That's right. This is just to give everybody a little hype.
This is the hype. So, starting January 6th, and it's going to the Classic, and we're working on an event for the Classic. You don't even know about this yet, and this will all end at the Classic. All right, are you ready? Who's going first? Me or you?
I don't care.
You don't care? I'm going to have to be really careful not to turn everything over when I do this. I've got another microphone here handy. Corey, you go ahead. Corey, $500 on the line, low budget live, Fat Ass Challenge. Let's go. Weigh it up, Corey. Can you hear the people chanting? Corey.
Dude, I'm trying. Hold on. I don't know how to flip it.
Just flip it around.
It's not there like it was. All right, here we go. You see it? 243.
243 pounds.
Flashing. Yep.
I'm going to need a second weight.
This is money.
243 pounds. Is this the fattest you've ever been in your life?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm definitely the fattest I've ever been. I found a picture of you.
By at least 20 pounds.
20 pounds heavier than you've ever been? Okay, one more time. 243. Go ahead. We got to get an official weight. This is an official weight. Here we go. 243 the first time, ladies and gentlemen. He's got Crocs on.
There it is.
243 again?
That's it.
243. All right. Here we go. I got to take
That's the weight.
All right. All right, here we go. How did you flip your camera around?
I just turned my phone.
That's what I'm going to do as well.
It's because you're recording the call.
Okay, let me see. Right here. All right. Get these scales going here, buddy. I got 2 microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Hang on.
I'm going to check his pockets.
All right, here we go. 220.5, heaviest I've ever been in my life. 220.5, ladies and gentlemen. 220. Do you want me to do it again? I just turned them on again. Here we go. I'm going to do it again. Putting the microphone down, Corey. 220 on the nose without the 220.5 with the microphone. 220.5. 220.5.
You're so fat.
I'm so fat. I'm the fattest I've ever been. All right. So it's $500. $500. I'm 220. Dude, you got 20 pounds on me, boy. Woo!
I want a side pod if I catch you. Like, we should do a side pod if I catch you.
If you catch me to 220 before I lose weight.
If I catch your weight.
What's that even mean?
If I was to catch your weight. Like, if I weigh the same as you at the end of this challenge, I win a bonus prize.
If you and I are the same weight? Oh, that's true, because I got a 20-pound head start.
Yeah. You got to lead.
Okay. If you catch my weight where I'm going to be at the end of this, you get a bonus prize of what? Name it. Let's go.
Extra. I don't know. We'll wait till Wednesday for that.
Okay. We'll decide on Wednesday. All right, Big C.
Time to think.
220. I'll be honest, not as bad as I thought I was. I was thinking more around 240. I was thinking, I haven't weighed in months, man.
I knew where I was.
The heaviest I've ever been was like 215. So 220, 220. And I'm a dumpy butt. I'm like less than 6 feet. All right, Big C, you're the man.
Yep.
Peace out.
I am.
All right, here we go. See you, buddy. Corey Williams right there. I don't know where the, there it is. There it is. We got the Big C right there, ladies and gentlemen. He weighs 243 pounds. And I'm going to put a picture up right here that I found the other day of me and Corey holding up some delicious bass. And he was really skinny from about 2 years ago. So 240, Big C, and I'm 220. So it begins. I'll drink to that. Fat ass challenge. Fat ass challenge. So we'll come up with a side pot. I'm going to bring my scales, get him weighed up too. We'll use the low budget live scales for the challenge. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not happy that I weigh that, but we're going to get down there. 220. So if you want to be a part of it, and please do, I want you to be a part of it. Tag me on Instagram when you're out there running on the treadmill. Tag me up when you're eating a salad. Tag me on Instagram. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's lose some weight. I'm going to be like the new The Rock of the fishing world. Let's go. You can do this, man. And listen, I need the motivation too, okay? It's why I'm a very, my wife will tell you this, a triple threat, that I am a very, 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 very private person on stuff like this. But I thought, you know, man, I want to do it. I want to do it like this because, you know, bring everybody in and accountability. And I know everybody suffers through things like this, man. And and I know y'all have helped me get through a lot of hard times this fall with a lot of positive energy and things. And man, I just want to say thank you. So let's get healthy together. Low budget live folk, the LBL crowd. And let's end it down at the Classic together with the celebratory handing of a check to me by Corey, $500. Let me let my next guest know. So my guest today, and I'm really excited about this. Just text him to see if it's okay to call. Go ahead and call, but because I'm a couple minutes early. Always run out of steam. But my guest today is fixing to head to his 5th Bassmasters Classic. He has won over $700,000 just with bass. He also fished FLW for a while out on the West Coast, and he is absolutely, I feel like he's an interesting guy for a lot of different reasons. And I'm somebody I've wanted to talk to for a long time. I don't know him well. I know him just a little bit, but really, really good guy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get on the phone Chris Zaldain.
What's up, Luke?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, here we are.
Here we are. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm actually currently at a boat and outdoors tackle show here in Collinsville, Illinois, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm out here in one of the meeting rooms, rapping with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing this. When I reached out to you, I saw that you were getting on an airplane when I sent the text, and I was like, I hope that Mr. Zaldain can do this, just because I know this time of year is rough for a lot of us, traveling, doing tackle shows and meeting the people. But I've seen you sharing. Looks like you're meeting a lot of folks this weekend, a lot of fans.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's awesome. Man, I can't tell you how many times someone's come up to me and brought up that whole Lake Gunnersville spoon incident, and that just shows that, how many people are tuned into Bass Live and watched the drama unfold and see it all. It's amazing. Just about every single person that walked up to me, mentioned that. And
that's amazing, dude.
It's really cool. It's really cool because, we all have social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. But putting, the faces to the fans, and tagging those people just means so much to them. And it's really cool to interact with them in person. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. So. Well, until you meet somebody, I get that a lot. You're working the classic and stuff, and people come up and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm Jim Bob Fishing 776 _ and you're like, "Oh, hey, dude, what's up?" Because you meet all these guys, you meet them online, and you feel like you know them, and then you're like, "What's up, dude?" In person, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's funny, and a lot of them, they're so witty and quick online, and then in person, you're like, "Dude, that doesn't match who you are."
Exactly.
Online. That's just how it is. That's so much cooler online.
That's exactly right. Well, that's definitely me. To a nutshell. I think Chris Zaldain's cool all the time, though. I will say that. The mustache, do you still have the stash right now?
Dude, it is in full force, man. I decided to cut the mustache into my face. I think it was during that northern swing last year, and I haven't shaved for a while. I don't grow much hair anyways. I'm not a very hairy person, but I decided to cut it in my face up there during that northern swing. I'm like, man, it worked for Seth. Those smallmouths seem to like that caterpillar, and they like insects and bugs and things. So yeah, the smallmouth really took appreciation to it because, man, we lit it on fire that last quarter of the season.
No doubt, dude.
Yeah, man, a couple seconds, a fifth, and just feeling good, just fishing good and feeling good, and that's what it's all about. I got that ask. Yeah, people are asking me like all week long here at this show. It's just, how, why, like, how did you do so well last year? And I typically I always say, it's, I had a killer season, and some would argue, oh, it's because the competition left, and you talk about that type of thing on this show all the time.
Absolutely.
It's because the competition left. There's no one there left to compete against. Is absolute BS. I know when I'm catching them, and I know when I'm not catching them. Last year, 2019, during the whole elite season, it seemed like every single adjustment I made it and caught a big one. It was the craziest thing. It's momentum. Momentum's everything. One good decision leads to the next, and leads to the next, leads to a 5-pounder, leads to a offshore random smallmouth spot that you could cast out on type of thing. But that's just how it works. And it's just, we had an awesome season last year and can't wait to keep it moving forward in 2020.
Well, I'll say this about those good years, and we've seen them, those crazy years where these flurries happen, like the Guntersville, the last minute flurry, that truly, when you're watching it on Bass Live, we're all thinking, well, we just won. There's no way. Yeah. I mean, you did lose fish, but it's like those kind of things happen when a guy does enough, know, and historically being a fan of the sport and then being a participant in the sport as well, like when you have those days, you're like, okay, you're kind of thinking it going in, when you're idling in a little bit, like, did I do enough? Was that meant to be? Because we've seen that so many times. But it doesn't matter who's in the tournament, the list of names, that doesn't matter. When you're having that role, it doesn't matter who's in it. And I'll say this, though. This was a very, and the whole world watched because it was the most intriguing year in Bassmaster history because some of these household names left. And that's been, obviously, we've talked about it to death. But they left, but what they were replaced with were more household names. I mean, that's the thing is that's what's fair about it. Yeah, it's Scott Canterbury. His name's not Kevin Van Dam, but buddy, I fished against that cat for a long time, and guess what? That wasn't a fluke. And it's the same with the Johnsons and the Gutsy and Shane LeHue and Brandon Cobb and
the young guys. LeHue and dude. I mean, you got Patrick Walters.
I know.
To see, like, who was that? Who was that?
Absolutely.
Dude, they could hold the rod and reel, cast a rod and reel, catch fish, just like, the guys I looked up to, the KVDs, the Ike. Dude, when I was growing up fishing, it was all I looked up to was the big four. It was KVD, it was Skeet, it was Ike, and it was Swindle. Those four guys were like gods to me, dude. Like growing up in California, that's who I wanted to be. That's where I wanted to be. And just with the crazy unfolding of how this all came up, here I am 9 years in the Elite Series, and the end of 2018, we were faced with that decision. And you've heard many guys come on the show and talk about their decision and this decision and that decision and this and that. And dude, at the end of 2018, it was hard for a lot of guys, and this is really what kind of fueled the successful year, in my opinion, in 2019. But at the end of 2018, going into 19, I didn't know what was around the corner. I didn't know if Bass was going to survive. We were going to survive, but I knew one thing, and it was that I'm gonna stick with the organization that I busted my ass to get to. I had a 9-to-5 job making, $23 an hour, left that, gave it all up to come and fish the 2011 Bassmaster Central Opens. I drove from California to Texas and back. Yeah. California to Oklahoma and back. California to Table Rock and back. I didn't have any running mates. I didn't have any co-anglers. Dude, I was on a mission to set out and make the Elite Series. So, and there was a lot of that this past year. A lot of guys gave up everything to come fish the Elite Series. And, dude, I'll tell you right now that there has never been such a high demand for these Bassmaster Elite Series spots. And I'm just so proud to be one of the 80-plus guys that have this spot. We're we're in a privileged position. And it's nothing but onward and upward moving forward. So, think about where we were, this time and, last year, 2008, end of 2018, and to see all the changes and everything, it's just, dude, I made the right decision. And that's another thing too, here in Collinsville, Illinois, I have guys come up to me, dude, I counted on my fingers how many times a guy would come up to me and say these exact words, dude, thank you for staying. Those exact words. And I counted exactly 9 times out of the hundreds of thousands of people that walk through here. I mean, that's everything, to have that feedback. Man. Yeah, it does. It really does. So,
well, your story is a lot like Brandon's in that blue collar, put your nose to the grindstone and work your way through the ranks at Bass. You won an open back in 2005? On the co-angler side, and you won a boat, and that kind of was a springboard in that Bassmaster Open. There was something when I actually do some research on Low Budget Live, believe it or not.
You do good.
I try to, but there was something, and I'll be honest, dude. You and I have met a few times over the years. We talked some, and I've always admired your style, and I say that because your angling style. Because you're definitely a way better fisherman than I'll ever be. But I have a lot of, and I think I imitate a lot of West Coast guys in that I love to flip, I love to power fish, but I also love little bitty light line, and I love to finesse fish. And so you've always been one of those guys that I've been like, when you're at Toledo Bend a few years ago and you catch a giant on a wacky worm, like 6-7 pound line, I'm like, dude, that's me. I would do something that's stupid, right? It's stupid, but I'm like, got it in the boat. I can't tell you how many times that in those situations people are like, you're going to use a spinning rod here? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm going to get a bite,
Get a bite.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to get a bite. But I've always admired that about you, but you're still this go for the throat, pick up the mag draft, throw a jerk bait, power fish. You're flipping a drop shot at Bull Shoal or at what was it? Bull Shoals and
that was Bull Shoals.
In those bushes. Like those kind of techniques are really cool to me, and I really thought when you get your Elite Series win, I figured it would be Lanier this year. I'll be honest. I was like, Zaldain will win Lanier, and I probably said that on here. When you get your first win. And you will, and I believe it'll happen this year. What would you rather win on? Would you rather win on light line or the big stuff? I know the win is the win, but what is your preference for people that are like, is Zaldain a finesse guy? Is he a swim bait guy? What is your pick of what you want your first win, signature win? What's that going to be on?
That's a great question. Like currently, one of my eyeballs is looking to the left, one of my eyeballs is looking to the right. Because when I think about the two, like it's literally like half my brain is over here with the big bait, and then half of it's finesse. And you hit it, you hit that and saying, that's just the California way of fishing. You kind of see it with Aaron and some of these other guys. They're really good with something micro, like 2.5, 3 inches, like a little swim bait or a little drop shot, or something mag, like a 6-8 inch swim bait. I'm going to go ahead and say, the big swim bait.
Okay.
No doubt. It is so hard to win with that thing. You saw it with me at the Classic earlier this year in Knoxville. It's like one day you catch the biggest sack of the week, period. And then the next morning, just a slight bit of current change or wind change or sun or clouds changes that whole bite. But you are literally, when that thing is locked in your hands for 6-8 hours a day, I mean, you are going for that blue trophy or that brown Classic trophy. And that's how I want to win it, no doubt. So, and with that being said, if I'll take it one step further, say the Classic, man. The Classics would be such a good tournament this year, and I know those Gunnersville bass in March. They love to eat a big fake rubber fish, and that'll be a really good one. So
I'm really intrigued at the fact that it's the first week of March this year. They moved it from February.
Yep.
When it was on Gunnersville the last time, I get really tired of, and this is something me and my buddy Darian talk about a lot. I get really sick and tired of Gunnersville February tournaments, even though they're slugfest. Yeah. Because our fishing in February, in March, mid-March, and then into April, dude, that's when you see ridiculous stringers of fish a lot of times, and just good average bags. You have a team tournament that in 50th place, you'll see 20 pounds. That kind of stuff. It's when March is when that happens. So I think you guys are going to knock their freaking lights out.
Yeah,
man.
That's a crazy time too, because I've only been at Gunnersville in the spring maybe 3 or 4 times, and of course in the summertime. But March is a weird time, and if you have a long winter, it'll be like that week of March. It'll go off like any day, like literally any day. Like the first day of the Classic, it could be 18. If it's sucky and cold, it could be like 18 to 20 pounds leading, and then like a sunshine trend happens, and then you're gonna need 30 pounds by the end of the day. So it's one of those magical times where it happens that week. So it's really cool they scheduled it then. So it's what I'm trying to say is it's a big difference between late February and then that first week of March. That is a huge difference. Although it's only 10 days apart or whatever it is a huge difference.
Well, I think, when the days, this is something I feel like a lot of people don't talk about a lot, but the light cycle, the days are getting longer.
Yep.
And those fish, they react to that as much as they do weather.
Yeah.
As always, I'm a firm believer in that. So it does change by the minute in those, in those weeks.
That's a really good thought. And we talked about that in a seminar yesterday, and too many people put, that real heavy stock, and they bet heavy on water temperature. Oh, the back of this creek is, 54, 55. It's going up. Dude, it's the length of the day and that sunlight penetration. It really is, because, man, I've had fish in 49, 48 degree water absolutely smoke a swim bait like it's 80 degrees outside, and it's just all conditional, and that's really what you have to play, especially during the Classic that week. So that'll be really cool.
Well, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a really big Classic. I think Knoxville will be hard to beat because I'm a Tennessee fan, so I want to say that the Knoxville Classic was incredible. But all you Alabama folks, okay, I know Birmingham will show out. It always does, and there will be some really big bags caught.
It's going to be awesome.
Something that I wanted to talk to you about, and this was something I did not know about Chris Zaldain. I didn't realize you had made several Forest Wood Cups.
Yeah.
For some reason, I never knew that about you.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday in the seminar as well. Dude, I made 4 consecutive
I saw that.
Forest Wood Cups. So back in the day, back in the early 2000s, bass fishing was good, dude. Bass fishing was awesome. Again, those 4 top guys I was just idolizing on the Elite Series. You'd tune in on ESPN too every Saturday, Sunday.
That's right.
See these guys and imitate these guys. Dude, I want to be there. So, the FLW series, they were the Everstarts, eventually turned into Costas or whatever they call them. That's just kind of the entry-level Pro-Am style event. Well, the National Guard got involved with FLW and sponsored the National Guard Eastern and Western tours. And basically, there were a series of events. All you guys in the Southeast love those events. I mean, they were what were they, like $4,000 in entry fees, and $100,000 per person. That's just like a tour. That's a tour level event, but it was regional. It was Eastern and it was Western. So that's kind of, I won a boat at 20 years old. And then through my early 20s, I said, to heck with school. We're going to give up school. I'm going to invest in a fishing education. And I the blue collar way of fishing and just putting your time in and learning the ins and outs of tournament bass fishing out west, fishing Havasu, fishing Shasta, the Delta, Clear Lake, and making the Forest Wood Cup every year out there. It was just, it was learning. And then every time I made the Forest Wood Cup, reading that Bassmaster magazine about the dog days of summer in the South, like I got my taste for 4 years in a row. Dude, I don't think I had to finish like above 50th in those Forest Wood Cups. And, and it's just summertime fishing in the South. I had no clue what summertime fishing in the South was. So I got my butt kicked each and every time, but I learned each and every time. So, but yeah, that's the part of growing up into this tournament bass fishing scene. You have to adapt. You have to learn. You got to take that kick in the face. You got to get your teeth knocked out to learn.
Right.
There's no magazine. There's no Bass Live that'll teach you firsthand. It'll guide you, but you got to learn the hard way each and every time. So, it's all about putting in the time and eventually you'll be there.
Dude, I love that so much, and I really, for a lot of guys, I know it's a shame that the cup's gone. I think you would agree with that. That was a marquee event in the sport, and
Absolutely.
It sucks to see that. And like you said, it was when Bass moved there. And I've got kind of mixed feelings on the fact that it was always in August. It is a really tough time of year. But then you look at like the one Atkins one out on Lake Murray. They smashed them. It was this really crazy good tournament. But most of them were grinders, and didn't take a lot of weight to win. But I think that was cool too, because it was almost like that U.S. Open thing in Meade, where it's this just battle of physical and mental and tough conditions. And the winner always dang sure proved himself when he held that cup up.
Yep. And that's the other thing too, is it's been a hot topic around here, around these shows we're working through January, is just talking about just the economics of the sport and how things are going and not going for some people, individuals, companies, or anglers. And back then it seemed like it was fairly good. It was fairly good. And the first early stages of the Elite Series, where I idolized these guys, it seemed like it was really good. Everyone's boat deals and motor deals were excellent. There's a lot of sponsor money getting tossed around, and I guess over time, things were promised to some anglers, and let me say that was kind of before my time. So when it came down to the decision again back in the late 18, some of those promises and people talk about being mistreated and this and that was kind of before my time.
Right.
And, for some of those guys to say, no, you need to do this, and you need to come over here, and you need to fish this is the future. I'm like, wait a second, dude. I busted my butt to get to where I'm at. I'm not gonna risk it all because you think this is the right thing for everyone. Well, when you got you got money invested or whatever it might be, it's like everyone's an individual here. We're all independent contractors. We work for our partners. We work for our sponsors. We work hard for them, and Bassmasters is the platform for that, and that's how it is, and I feel like that's how it's always going to be.
Well, and that's an interesting point, and it's something that I said, I probably have said it on here, when a lot of those veteran guys left, they're not close to retiring or anything like that, but these guys have a super long track records and super established careers. So to try to get the Chris Zaldains and the Brandon Polnicks and the Justin Lucases to leave, Seth Fighters, I felt like that was a little, I don't want to say selfish, but they're trying something new, and they do say they're talking about the future of the sport. But I've dealt with this personally in some situations where a guy may tell you that, but if he takes a big buyout on something or whatever, and he's out in 5 years, he may not worry about Luke Duncan again. Like he's trying to get to the end of the rainbow, so to speak.
Of course.
And those guys definitely feel like they did the right thing, and they feel like what they're doing is the best thing out there. And we can talk that all day long. There is a great divide in our sport. It's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like, Luke, too, let me interrupt you. Dude, I feel like it's kind of, I hate to say it like this, I feel like it's devalued the angler a little bit. I really do, man. Dude, there are so many just unsigned contracts out there right now, just to give you a little look or a taste into what it's like to be a professional bass fisherman right now. Dude, everything is late.
Very
like late
late.
Spawned. It's like they're spawning in May, like late.
And normally, and what we're talking about is sponsor contracts for those of you guys. This stuff's normally taken care of September, October, November. That way you've got your ducks in a row before you. But now there are a lot of contracts
open contracts, and Upshaw went on and talked about it, and that was a great show, and they nailed it, dude. These marketing departments, these marketing marketing leads are just like, dude, what the heck do we do? And for the poor guy that's 1, 2, 3 years into it, not established, it's like, okay, I'm just going to wait here and wait for something to trickle down.
That's
dude, that
right.
may or may not happen.
That's true.
And, I find myself 9 years into it, and it's still like that for me too. It's like, it's crazy. It's scary almost. And I'm starting to see on social media, you're starting to see guys announce, normally in January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, you see guys on social media, I'm happy to announce I'm with so-and-so. I'm happy to announce I partner with this and that. I'm starting to see more and more, I'm happy to announce I'm with, Uncle Bob's Radiator
That's
Shop.
right.
I'm sponsored by Johnny's Crankbait. Like, it's like,
it's
dude,
bizarre.
It is bizarre. Very, very much
Do
bizarre.
you think, our divide it's definitely started with Bass and BPT and FLW, just all being on separate pages. But do you feel like some of the, and this is something I talk about all the time and people get tired of hearing it, I'm sure, but do you think any of what's going on with marketing departments and sponsorship wise, that there's been a wrench thrown in by some of the YouTube crowds, some of the influencers? You know what I mean? As far as like these guys can prove their numbers.
Yes.
They can show you.
Absolutely. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. And I've seen it with some of the sponsors I work with. They're starting to look that eyebrow and that marketing lead. He's like, well, I got this over here. They don't really know what's going on. Then I've got these guys over here, multi-million followers and views. And like me as a professional bass fisherman and everyone else I've looked up to this point as a professional touring tournament bass fisherman, dude, that whole demographic was completely missed.
No doubt.
Just untapped by us. Dude, there were kids walking around this show, and there still are. I'm looking out at a show floor right now. They're walking around these skeeter boats and things, and dude, they have no clue who I am. They have no freaking clue who Kevin is, who Ike is, Brandon. They have no clue who those guys are, but they beg their dad and mom, take me into Academy, take me into Dick's, and I want to get this Guggen $5 pack of worms, and those guys are killing it. And like they have no freaking clue who that guy is in that jersey. It's like
it's interesting, man.
So and then now you're starting to see more guys, kind of cross pollinate and get into both. And I think that's a heck of a direction. And
it's a hard one. It's a lot of hard work.
It is.
It's a lot of hard work, and I think a lot of pros that all of a sudden decide, hey, I got a YouTube channel because I'm one of those guys that I'm really working hard at it. But dude, it is so much work.
Oh, especially if you're by yourself, like
man,
you got kids, you got you hold down a job at TH.
That's right,
dude. It's brutal, man.
It is.
Absolutely,
it is.
But for those guys who really started out early, the Goog, all those guys, they nailed it and they killed it and they
certainly did.
They're seizing it, no doubt. So
it's definitely, there's a purge going on with a lot of companies marketing wise. I've seen it, working at TH, some of the stuff that, and you do look at, well, hey man, do I go this way? Do I go that way with our marketing dollars, which are precious? Because like I mentioned on the last show, marketing dollars, they go straight to the bottom line. If you take them, that's just hey, we want to spend this. We want to spend this. We don't have to. We want to. And that's what I always say to people, especially young folks. If you get fortunate enough to get sponsored, you need to appreciate it, and you need to work as hard as you can for that company that pays you money. And save your money. Save your money. Yeah.
Yep.
Because when you make your living off of marketing budgets, it changes every year. It's a volatile deal.
Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah, you gotta. That's just a precious relationship that you gotta take care of like a baby every single year. And that's. You see a lot. Dude, you're gonna see some announcements. I've already saw one yesterday with social media. Some of these guys have been with company for 20 plus years, and then all of a sudden they're changing. Dude, how do you start fresh with a company after 20 years? It's the craziest thing. So we're at a really weird time in professional bass fishing, where you have to bust your butt to prove that you're worth something. Your value, you get paid for your value, dude. Not that space on your shirt, not that space on your boat or truck.
That's right.
Your value. What kind? What you got to be different. You got to somehow be different. So it's interesting, and with that too, the organizations, whether it's FLW, MLF, whatever it is, the Bass, the leads of those organizations have to adapt as well.
No doubt.
And that was one of the things too, is in my decision when a lot of those veterans left. They left because of what the old regime was doing or wasn't doing. And the fresh, brand new, Anderson family, they come in, and I've had nothing but faith in them. And it was never a sales pitch. It was just like, hey, my name is Chase Anderson. I'm the new owner of Bass. Here's what I plan to do. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Here's my vision. Looking forward. We would love it if if your business is a part of ours, and several of us professional fishermen said, hey, I'm on board, man. I don't feel like I'm being sold anything. Let's roll.
That's awesome. And Brian Latimer said the vision, that path at Bass right now, it's crystal clear. I mean, the Classic's the goal, AOI's the goal. For Brian, it's making the elites is the goal. But he said at FLWMLF, he didn't feel like that future was as clear. 10 years from now, is it the thing? We all don't know. We don't. But right now, Bass is that crystal clear path for a lot of guys, and we've seen that with all these folks coming to the Opens. I wanted to talk real quick just because I'm a big fan of Trait. And how hard she works in this sport and everything she's done. And she has, for those of you who don't know, and if you're here watching this, I'm sure you do know, but Trait Zaldain is Chris's wife, and who also competes on the Bassmaster Opens. And she also has her own signature series line of rods through Eagle Claw. It's very cool, the pink rods, and she's done very well with that and trying to promote women and girls and fishing. And she does a really great job of that. But talk about what it's like, because a lot of guys listening to this are going to be like, dude, you go fish tournaments with your wife? Because here's the deal, I go fish tournaments to get away from my wife. So how does that dynamic work? Because she understands what you go through, man, because through her own adversities, through her own successes, she knows what it's like when she sees her husband. Like my wife would understand if I got 3 second places. She'd be like, oh, that man, I know that stings. But she's not out there trying to get 3 second places herself. You know what I mean? What's that dynamic like for you and Trait when you're at an event?
Yeah, it's like you said, some guys try to get away from their wives and stuff. It's very tricky. It's tricky. It really is. I mean, in any marriage, I don't care. Nobody's perfect. No relationship's perfect. But man, just think about all the tempers that flare. There's so much stress, dude. Think about this. I've got 2 different sets of tempers, 2 different sets of attitudes, the ups and downs of bass fishing. So it's me and my wife, and I got 2 sets of truck problems, 2 sets of bass boat problems, 2 sets of payments. It's like, dude, it's a lot of work, no doubt. But to see a woman like her just work as hard as anyone out there for something she truly loves and believes in, it's just something special. And for those who don't know, she comes from a finance background. She graduated from SMU with a poli-sci degree, and so she's into, I guess you could say she's into the political stuff. That's why she's so good behind the scenes and business. She gets business. That's what I love about her most. And coming from the finance background, she knows kind of like money habits and investing and things like that. So a lot of what's going on in the sport, she saw coming a mile away. And I'm pretty fortunate to have that as an asset, as a teammate. Like her side, her look of things, on my side, it just really helped the team out. But for her to, and that's what it was. That was our whole agreement from the giddy, like right from the get-go when we met, when I knew I was going to marry her. The whole agreement was, I'd help her with the fishing stuff. She'd help me with the business and marketing side. And it's been a really good 1-2,
awesome.
Team approach. And it really is, because I know so many, professional anglers who are awesome at fishing but suck at marketing, or are great at marketing and suck at fishing.
That's right.
I get the best of both worlds in one team, so it's really neat.
That's awesome.
So she's firing up her YouTube this year, and a lot of
I saw that. Yeah, get her to 1,000. She needs 1,000 subs.
Before the first Open, please. Yeah, go check her out, Trait Zaldain.
She's gonna live stream the good, the bad, the ugly, everything, man. She's gonna bring it to you.
She's gonna be real vulnerable. And we all know how, like a Danica did in NASCAR. He got a lot of hate, a lot of shade.
Of course.
But, dude, she's developed some thick skin over the last few years, and she's ready for it and ready to be vulnerable and throw it all out there, as we should all. I mean, look at what the YouTubers do. Do they open up their lives daily And that's what people want. They want people vulnerable. They love the vulnerability. They love you're a character. It's all entertainment. It's social entertainment. So she's going to be doing that, and then I'm going to be firing up my YouTube this year. It's going to be the infotainment, where I'm going to try to entertain but deliver the information of how to catch bass. I love teaching people how to catch bass. So we're going to give it a really solid go this year on YouTube. We've hired a guy to follow us around all season long. So that's going to be pretty dope. And it's going to be good, man. So again, you always got to level up, dude. And you
do. You got to keep on, man.
And you stepped up your stuff, with the podcast and everyone, the whole industry's talking about it. You always have to level up, whether you're a BFL guy, if you're that guy that's stuck at the BFL level, dude, level up, man. Just do whatever it takes, scratch and claw your way up to the Costas or to the next level in the Opens, and always level up. I don't care how long it takes, but just always think about moving up and up and up and up, and just keep climbing. So that's what we're doing here this year. Yeah, man, just always level up.
And y'all, here's what you need to understand about all of us doing this, that I want to say is, because people say, man, you're doing it because of sponsors, or you're doing it because of this. Yes and no. This is a business for us. This is our life. But you got to understand that when I do Low Budget Live, when Chris and Trade are going to be out here live streaming, they've got a camera guy phone. These are investments. These are investments to bring you, more content, to bring you closer in, like Chris is saying, infotainment. He's going to teach you how to throw that mag draft, which I'm hoping he does with me in my boat this year too. We got to talk about that, but a little bit. We're going to do a traveling circus. Me and Zaldain just doesn't know it yet.
That sounds good.
That's happening. I've got a recorded. This is a binding contract.
Let's do it.
This is a binding contract, but he's going to show you that. So support these folks. Go subscribe. And definitely let them know how much you appreciate what they're doing, because right now is the finest time in this bass fishing world. There are so many options for tournaments to watch. There's so many content creators out there, and it's an awesome time. So
it is. It really is.
I really, really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do this, man. And I want to say this year, 2020, the new decade, I want you to level up into that Elite Series dub, Bassmaster Classic dub. It's happening, dude.
I love it, man.
I really appreciate it, dude. Be safe going home, and I hope to see you and talk to you very soon.
Right on, Luke. I appreciate it, man. Keep killing it on Low Budget Live.
Thank you, buddy.
So in tune with the sport and what's going on, man. We go to you weekly for the latest and greatest news, brother.
I really appreciate it, dude.
Until next time, we'll see you out
there. Heck yeah, man. All right. Chris Zaldain, man, that was cool. Level up. Level up, ladies and gentlemen. You need to level up. It's great advice, man. It's great advice from a good guy. Sharp dude right there, okay? Sharp dude. He gets it. He gets what he's about. He gets what the sport's about. And, proud he came on to talk to us. That was a great way to kick off 2020, wasn't it? Got the Fat Ass Challenge going. Got a little Chris Zaldain. I'd like to say, you're welcome. You are welcome. That was awesome, man. That was a really good talk. He had a good time talking to Mr. Zaldangerous, Chris Zaldain. Got some other big guests coming up. Some other things coming real quick before I jump off here for the day and leave you with a little Biloxi Blues by Luke Duncan, by yours truly. Traveling Circus #1. Super excited. Me, Kyle Wood from Minnesota, back this fall. This Traveling Circus thing, I got a couple episodes filmed this fall. The rest of them will be filmed this spring with my man Tanner Lyons. And the first one drops this Thursday. The Traveling Circus from Minnesota, frog fishing. Go check it out, man. It's like what I did with the Traveling Circus last year, documenting the FLW Tour, but it's going to be more of a fishing show, okay? First episode this week. So please go give it a watch. Tell your buddies to watch it. Comment below on it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. I really appreciate that. Just hit 5,000 subscribers, man. I'll drink to that. Thank y'all. This time last year I had about 400. So that means a lot. We're seeing growth. And it's awesome, man. I am going to work my butt off. And I'm going to work out because of this Fat Ass Challenge, boy. I'm going to get rid of them LBs. But I'm going to keep working my butt off for this YouTube channel. For all of you, I really, really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. I hope you have an awesome first full week of January. Some of you may just be getting back to work, you lucky dogs. But thank you as always. And I will see you next week.
From Jackson Town to Tupelo, I never could make it last. Spanish moss and Civil War ghosts, well, I'm gonna leave them in the past. Any direction, Lord, I'll be fine. It don't matter east or west. North, south, wherever the wind blows, I'm leaving those burdens at rest. This highway, it does not know my name, and I don't care, no, I don't care. Headed my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires and a spare. Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to